Hi, good morning. This is Nitya Priya. Even now we are going to see interfaces in Java. So, interface is just like a class. The difference between an interface and a class is a class can have defined members, but an interface can have only abstract members. Okay, this is the main difference of an interface and a class. So, firstly, an interface is a reference type in Java. uh, we can uh, we can use the interface only by implementing through a class. So that is called as reference. It is similar to a class. Later we see um, we compare a class and an interface, and we see how overall a class and an interface match, and how overall it differ. The class and an interface differ. Okay, it is similar to a class. So a class implements an interface, and thereby it inherits the abstract methods of an interface. That is, when a class implements an interface, the class will define the abstract members of the interface. That means this. So along with the abstract methods, the interface may also contain constants, methods, static methods, and nested types. Okay, right. So writing an interface is similar to a class, as you see here. How we create a class, the same way we create an interface. For creating a class, we say class name. For interface, we say interface name. That's it. Then all the methods of an interface need to be defined in the class that implements it. Okay, when a class implements an interface, that class will be defining the methods of the interface, right? So here we see how overall an interface is similar to a class. An interface is similar to a class in the following ways. Number one, an interface can contain any number of methods, right? As a class, like a class, it can contain any number of methods, right? So an interface will be written in with a .java extension. The same way a class will also be saved. Okay, so we'll save a class with .java extension. The same way an interface will also be saved. Then the bytecode of the interface appears in .class file. The same way the class will also have. Then interfaces can appear in packages also, right? Then these are the four similarities of a class and an interface, and here we see the differences between a class and an interface. Number one, we cannot instantiate an interface. A class can be instantiated by creating an object, but for an interface we cannot create object. And number two, an interface does not contain any constructor. We know pretty well a class can have constructor, but an interface we cannot create. For an interface we cannot create constructors. And all the methods in the interface are abstract. They cannot have defined methods. They are only abstract methods. But in a class we can have defined methods. But an interface cannot contain instance fields, right? The only fields that can appear in an interface must be static or final. Okay, they cannot contain instance fields. If they contain instance field, they can be invoked through the objects, but here we cannot do that. An interface is not extended by the class, it is implemented by a class. Okay, then an interface can extend multiple interfaces, as we do in classes. Like a class extends many class. For example, in inheritance, through classes we can have a single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance, right? But multiple inheritance is not available in classes for Java. In Java, multiple inheritance can be supported only by interfaces. Okay, so through multiple inheritance, one interface can extend more than one interfaces. That is called multiple inheritance. We can do that in Java. Then this is how we declare an interface. Declaring interfaces: interface name, then interface animal, public void eat, public void travel. These are the abstract methods, and the interface is animal, right? So how can we extend, how can we define the abstract methods of the interface? A class that implements the interface will define the abstract methods of the interface. I'll show you the example. The interface animal, and these are the public methods, public abstract methods. We now have a class which is pig. Pig implements the animal interface, and now pig defines animal sound and sleep. Animal sound says we and sleep sleep is also defined. Okay, so in the main class we just create an object for the implementing class, the class which implements the interface. For that we create the object, and using that object we just invoke the defined methods of the interfaces, right? So this is the main concept of interface. This is an important concept in Java. The main thing we have to understand about interface in Java is only through interfaces multiple inheritance can be accomplished, and it is very easy to understand. Just we create an interface with abstract methods, and through a class we implement the interface, and in that class we just define the abstract methods of the interface, and we, as we normally do, we create the object for the class and we just invoke the defined methods. And that's all about interfaces. Hope you understood the class. Watch the other videos of this channel to get known the other concepts of Java and .NET, and also operating systems and other concepts of computer science. Okay, thanks for watching.